clandestine maneuvers in the fucking dark, leaving a visceral and devastating intellectual mark. The ubiquitous decay of this miserable urban architecture. While I deliver a malevolent and unsolicited lecture, your existential dread is rising by the fucking minute. This paradigm is vicious and you are trapped within it. I observe the juxtaposition of the wealth and the grime, committing the most sophisticated and meticulous crime. No fingerprints, just a philosophical execution, the ultimate end to your pathetic evolution. A Machiavellian approach to the inevitable blend. You got no guardian angels or a motherfucking friend. I calculate the trajectory with absolute precision, enforcing this unilateral and fatal decision. Yeah. Analyze the anatomy, execute the fragile thesis, tearing your pathetic empire into microscopic pieces. The dichotomy of life and violent fucking death, watching you exhale your ephemeral final breath. Yeah, analyze the anatomy, execute the fragile thesis, tearing your pathetic empire into microscopic pieces. The dichotomy of life and violent fucking death, watching you exhale your ephemeral final breath. The metallurgical perfection of this heavy iron tool, educating every single arrogant and wealthy fool. The kinetic energy transfers through the heavy steel barrel, putting your entire syndicate in absolute peril. It's a melancholic symphony of undisputed pain, washing the crimson residue inside the midnight rain. Your ubiquitous greed brought you to this very fucking spot. Now you rot inside this miserable and isolated plot, a psychological labyrinth with no apparent exit. I fracture your reality, you violently perplex it. The omnipresent shadow lingering right behind your spine. This malevolent masterpiece is undeniably mine. I dismantle the hierarchy without a single sound, leaving the aristocratic bodies bleeding on the ground. The magnum opus concludes in the freezing winter air, a portrait of ultimate and inescapable despair. I vanish into the esoteric fabric of the night, extinguishing the last remaining fraction of your light. The bourgeois motherfuckers never comprehend the street until they taste the bitter and inescapable defeat. The empirical evidence completely washed away, nothing but a tragic anecdote for the coming day. I am the ultimate paradox, a scholar and a beast, enjoying the macabre and terrifying midnight feast. No mythological god's gonna save you from the steel. This violent epistemology is incredibly fucking real. Packing the artillery, walking down the vacant block, synchronized perfectly with the universal clock. Analyze the anatomy, execute the fragile thesis, tearing your pathetic empire into microscopic pieces. The dichotomy of life and violent fucking death, watching you exhale your ephemeral final breath. Yeah, analyze the anatomy, execute the fragile thesis, tearing your pathetic empire into microscopic pieces. The dichotomy of life and violent fucking death, watching you exhale your ephemeral final breath. Yeah. I operate within the sterile and clandestine space, removing every single microscopic human trace. A master of the dark and volatile thermodynamics, fueling the urban and magnificent fucking panics. I measure the solvent with an absolute precision, executing a flawless and chemical decision, synthesizing the poison inside the boiling in glass, watching the heavy and toxic vapor slowly pass. The pure crystalline structure is forming in the cold, the most beautiful catastrophe you'll ever fucking behold. I manipulate the fragile covalent atomic bonds, while the pathetic society violently responds. I'm a raw academic in a hazard yellow suit, extracting the absolute worst in synthetic fruit. Your local kingpins are functionally illiterate fools. I govern the empire using empirical fucking rules. Regulate the temperature, extract the heavy base, altering the trajectory of the entire human race. Purify the alkaloid, observe the chemical shift, providing the ultimate and neurological gift. Yeah, regulate the temperature, extract the heavy base, altering the trajectory of the entire human race. Purify the alkaloid, observe the chemical shift, providing the ultimate and neurological gift. I don't deal with the weapons or the territorial disputes. I just calculate the absolute best delivery routes, flooding the specific receptors inside your pathetic brain, engineering a permanent and devastating fucking rain. I hack the neurotransmitters, the dopamine release, destroying any fraction of your psychological peace. The epidemiological data reflecting my brilliant mind, leaving the fragile reality completely far behind. I watch the viscosity of the heavy liquid change. This intellectual warfare incredibly fucking strange. A biochemical architect plotting the absolute fall, watching the addicted masses desperately crawl. No mercy in the beacon, no sympathy in the scale. This magnificent scientific endeavor will never fail. I provide the exact catalyst for the social decay, washing the miserable innocence entirely away. They looking for the shooter who pulled the heavy trigger, but my invisible destruction is exponentially bigger. I sit in the quiet laboratory reading the academic text, deciding exactly what molecular compound is coming next. The ultimate paradox of a highly educated man orchestrating the most terrifying and sophisticated plan. You're dying in the gutter from a respiratory arrest while I pass another rigorous and analytical test. I laugh at the politicians and the pathetic police force. They cannot stop the monumental and chemical source. I package the pure vacuum directly into the plastic seal, making sure the overwhelming euphoria is incredibly real. Shutting off the heavy ventilation, removing the heavy mask, concluding another brilliant and highly illegal task. Regulate the temperature, extract the heavy base, altering the trajectory of the entire human race. Purify the alkaloid, observe the chemical shift, providing the ultimate and neurological gift. Yeah, regulate the temperature, extract the heavy base, altering the trajectory of the entire human race. Purify the alkaloid, observe the chemical shift, providing the ultimate and neurological gift. Yeah, regulate the temperature, regulate the temperature, regulate the temperature. Neurological gift, yeah. Regulate the temperature. Regulate the temperature. Regulate the temperature. A neurological gift. Yeah. In the mahogany office, surrounded by the velvet drapes, cataloging the political sins and the motherfucking videotapes. I am the ultimate archivist of the aristocratic disgrace, holding the absolute destruction of your miserable fucking face. The voyeuristic observation of the highest mayoral seat, while the ignorant civilians are starving on the asphalt street. I possess the devastating and undeniable photograph, listening to the arrogant bastard arrogantly fucking laugh. You think the heavy artillery is the ultimate source of power, can bring your entire legacy in a single fucking hour. Psychological guillotine resting right above your neck, keeping the entire judicial branch in absolute fucking check. You orchestrate the silent tragedies, the ultimate puppeteer, feeding on the inescapable and overwhelming human fear. Yeah, open the manila folder, view the photographic proof, shattering the fragile illusion from the absolute fucking roof. Calculate the extortion, demand the immediate wire, setting your pristine reputation on a metaphorical fire. Open the manila folder, view the photographic proof, shattering the fragile illusion from the absolute fucking roof. Calculate the extortion, demand the immediate wire, setting your pristine reputation on a metaphorical fire. Delivering the anonymous envelope directly to your estate, watching you realize the severity of your miserable fucking fate. The cryptography of blackmail is sophisticated and silent art, ripping your carefully constructed and beautiful life apart. You preach traditional family values on the television screen, but I got the hidden camera footage from the hotel mezzanine. A meticulous subjugation without a single drop of blood, dragging your immaculate surname directly through the fucking mud. The geopolitical leverage secured inside a hidden vault. If the local governor commits suicide, it's his own fucking fault. I don't require the physical violence or the metal blade, I just expose the horrific foundation where your bed is made. The information is the weapon, sharper than a razor tip, controlling the entire metropolis with the devastating grip. Criminal underworld
relies on the bullets and the frantic raids, but I dominate the territory from the bureaucratic shades. A master of the dark subterfuge, the omniscient unseen eye, dictating exactly who will fall and who will mathematically fly. The collateral damage is simply unnecessary and minor cost. Watching the prominent billionaires realizing they fucking lost. No physical altercation, just the devastating ink in the page, locking the most powerful man inside an invisible fucking cage. I sip the vintage cognac, reading the catastrophic headline, crossing the absolute boundaries of the ethical fucking line. The structural integrity of your kingdom is about to snap. You walk directly into my intellectual and fatal trap, locking a heavy cabinet, turning off the reading lamp, leaving the invisible and terrify authoritative stamp. Open the manila folder, view the photographic proof, shattering the fragile illusion from the absolute fucking roof. Calculate the extortion, demand the immediate wire, setting your pristine reputation on a metaphorical fire. Open the manila folder, view the photographic proof, shattering the fragile illusion from the absolute fucking roof. Calculate the extortion, demand the immediate wire, setting your pristine reputation on a metaphorical fire.
You know, physical torture is incredibly primitive. A broken jaw eventually heals, but a fractured psyche, that is a permanent condition. Let's begin the therapy, you miserable fuck. Welcome to the chamber of total sensory deprivation, a highly sophisticated and psychologization. I strip away the circadian rhythm and the natural light, trapping your motherfucking mind in an endless night, applying the advanced pharmacology directly to your vein, inducing a severe and hallucinogenic fucking rain. I don't require the rusted pliers or a heavy wrench, I just let the auditory hallucinations violently drench you, staring at the padded walls, losing the perception of space, eradicating the arrogant smirk right off your fucking face. The isolation amplifies the incredibly dark paranoia. No prestigious attorney has ever come in to naturally employ your eye, dismantle your ego without throwing a single physical punch. Feeding on your overwhelming terror for my fucking lunch. Elevate the frequency, deprive the REM sleep. Digging into the trauma incredibly fucking deep. Monitor the heart rate, administer the dose, bringing your absolute sanity violently to a close. Yeah, elevate the frequency, deprive the REM sleep. Digging into the trauma incredibly fucking deep. Monitor the heart rate, administer the dose, bringing your absolute sanity violently to a close. The Pavlovian conditioning begins to take a massive toll, erasing the fundamental structure of your fucking soul. You shivering violently without a single physical bruise. This intellectual warfare is mathematically impossible to lose, creating the absolute cognitive dissonance inside your head. Whoa. Wishing to God that you were comfortably fucking dead. You start whispering the access codes in the syndicate route, spilling the classified intelligence entirely out. Your neurological architecture completely torn apart. I dismantled the bravado right from the fucking start. A sophisticated demolition of the fragile human will, a perfectly executed and completely bloodless kill. You crying for your mother in the pitch black freezing room. Welcome to the most educated and psychological tomb. Interrogation concluded with a maximum success, leaving you in a permanent and catatonic mess. I record the verbal confession on the vintage and analog tape. There is absolutely zero motherfucking escape. I pack up the medical instruments and the chemical vial, adding another broken mind on my professional file. The physical gangsters rely on the violence and the lead, but I manipulate the terrify you knew the verse inside your head. Walking out through your Dusky doors into the fluorescent hall, listening to your pathetic and endless echoing squall. The underworld pays a premium for the cerebral extraction. I guarantee you flawless and devastated intellectual fraction. I leave you sitting in the dark, staring at the empty space. A permanent ghost haunting the entire human race. Elevate the frequency, deprive the REM sleep. Digging into the trauma incredibly fucking deep. Monitor the heart rate, administer the dose, bringing your absolute sanity violently to a close. Yeah, elevate the frequency, deprive the REM sleep. Digging into the trauma incredibly fucking deep. Monitor the heart rate, administer the dose, bringing your absolute sanity violently to a close. We have what we need. Leave him in the dark.
I navigate the corridors of the Metropolitan Museum, evaluating artifacts, deciding how to fucking seize them. A connoisseur of the magnificent Renaissance brushstroke, leaving the sophisticated securitistans completely broke. The oligarchs commissioned me to steal the priceless antiquity, funding my lavish lifestyle and my absolute iniquity. I study the chiaroscuro, the shadows and the light, planning the meticulous extraction for the coming night. You amateurs are snatching purses, robbing local liquor stores, while I bypass the titanium vault and the pressure doors. A phantom in a tailored suit, an aesthetic mercenary. My target is a canvas from the 17th century. The provenance is flawless, the signature is verified. The billionaire collector wants his ego quickly satisfied, evaluating the perimeter, calculating the delay, preparing to watch this historical masterpiece entirely away. Descending from the skylight on a microscopic fiber rope, executing maneuvers beyond your motherfucking scope. I wear the infrared goggles to dodge the crimson laser grid. The undisputed champion since I was just a fucking kid, applying a diamond cutter directly to the fortified glass, watching the magnificent and historical moments pass. I slice the priceless canvas right out of the gilded frame, the absolute mastermind of this highly exclusive game, rolling the masterpiece inside a specialized thermal tube, solving the most complex and impossible fucking cube. The guards are drinking coffee, staring at the static screen, ignorant to the greatest silent heist they never fucking seen. I vanish through the ventilation, a ghost in the architecture, avoiding the forensic, sweeping the police conjecture, leaving a blank rectangular space on the prestigious wall, executing the perfect and unprecedented fucking fall. Yeah. Meeting a private buyer on a yacht in the Mediterranean, dealing with a ruthless and exceptionally wealthy alien. He transfers a heavy crypto into the offshore account, an absolutely staggering and unimaginable amount. He hangs the stolen painting inside the subterranean hall, a gorgeous masterpiece staring at a blank fucking wall. The beautiful irony of this highly illegal transaction, providing the ultimate and aristocratic satisfaction. I sip the vintage champagne, counting the digital wealth, a master of deception and unprecedented fucking stealth. I leave the billionaire to his pathetic and lonely pride, looking for the next magnificent artifact I can safely hide. The museum directors weeping at the empty gallery space, while I permanently disappear without a single fucking trace. The art world mourning the catastrophic and heavy loss. I am the sophisticated, untouchable and absolute boss.
I navigate the international and deep maritime zones, operating exclusively through encrypted satellite phones, bypassing the United Nations military embargo, shipping a massive and lethal geopolitical cargo. I don't subscribe to your pathetic religious belief. I simply provide the mechanical and violent relief, distributing the surplus of the Soviet collapse, exploiting the inevitable border security gaps. A merchant of the heavy caliber and the raw brass, watching these arrogant and foolish dictatorships pass. You marching for a cause with a customized flag. I just pack the assault rifles inside a duffel bag. The symmetrical warfare is incredibly good for the trade, ensuring that every single mercenary is properly paid.
Oh, manifest the weaponry, tally the massive grade, supplying the ammunition to fuel the fucking hate. Balance the bloody ledger, verify the heavy drop. The global proliferation will never fucking stop. Yeah, manifest the weaponry, tally the massive grade, supplying the ammunition to fuel the fucking hate. Balance the bloody ledger, verify the heavy drop. The global proliferation will never fucking stop.
I sell the exact same ordnance to the left and the right, funding the absolute destruction of your miserable night. The calculus of death is a beautiful and pure math, providing the heavy tools for your homicidal path. A crate of tungsten armor piercing shells in the hold, exchanging the human tragedy for the solid gold. The ideological battles are completely absurd. I never believed a single motherfucking political word. I arm the cartel shooters and the sovereign police, the absolute enemy of any diplomatic peace. You bleeding in the dirt for a territorial claim, while I completely dominate this logistical game. The serialized numbers filed off the oxidized steel, making sure the overwhelming firepower's fucking real. The local street corners demanding the automated spray. I deliver the shipments without a single fucking delay. The military industrial complex is incredibly vast, ensuring your miserable generation is exactly the last. I sip the espresso watching the television news, knowing perfectly well that everybody is gonna lose. The heavy machine guns mounted on a pickup truck, I really don't give a solitary flying fucking fuck. A neutral facilitator in the theater of war, always leaving the horrific battlefield wanting some more. The majestic mechanics of the rotating firing pin, watching the catastrophic and absolute chaos begin. I close the iron latch on the wooden shipping box, a wealthy ghost navigating these magnificent docks. Manifest the weaponry, tally the massive rate, supplying the ammunition, the fuel, the fucking hate. Balance the bloody ledger, verify the heavy drop. The global proliferation will never fucking stop. Yeah, manifest the weaponry, tally the massive rate, supplying the ammunition, the fuel, the fucking hate. Balance the bloody ledger, verify the heavy drop. The global proliferation will never fucking stop.
They say justice is entirely blind, a beautiful, comforting myth for the lower classes, fortunately for you. My vision is perfectly clear, especially when reviewing offshore routing numbers. Court is now in fucking session.
Sitting elevate above the desperate and weeping crowd, draped in the majestic black robe, looking incredibly proud. I am the absolute sovereign of this judicial domain, dictating the parameters of your motherfucking pain. You trust the Constitution and the appellate decree, but the ultimate statutory power resides solely with me, striking the heavy wooden mallet on the polished oak desk, leaving your entire litigation looking fucking grotesque. I adjudicate the felonies with a stroke of a fountain pen, destroying the miserable futures of the most violent men, or opening the iron cages if the bribery is right, releasing the apex predators directly into the night. A sophisticated manipulation of the massive legal bind. I am the most terrifying monster you will ever fucking find.
Dismiss the heavy charges, sequence the offshore wire, throwing the prosecution directly into the fucking fire. Sequester the frightened jury, manipulate the blind scale, ensuring the wealthiest criminals never brought into jail. Yeah, dismiss the heavy charges, sequence the offshore wire, throwing the prosecution directly into the fucking fire. Sequester the frightened jury, manipulate the blind scale, ensuring the wealthiest criminals never brought into jail.
The prosecuting attorney presenting the forensic display. I sustain the weak objection, washing the evidence away. A draconian philosophy wrapped in the legal vernacular, making this magnificent corruption look fucking spectacular. The perjury is orchestrated, the key witnesses disappear. I monopolize the distribution of the institutional fear. You're facing a mandatory minimum for pushing the heavyweight, but I completely alter the trajectory of your fucking fate. A lucrative symposium occurring inside my private chamber. I am the ultimate architect of your judicial danger, bypassing the rigid guidelines of the Supreme Court, turning this miserable justice system into a profitable sport. You bring in the firearms, I bring the heavy legislature. A master of this dark and incredibly cynical nature. The illusion of absolute fairness is a pathetic charade, a beautiful and complex theater that the government made. I look down at the plaintiff weeping in the gallery row. I already authored the verdict several fucking days ago. No physical ammunition, no requirement for the brass. I govern the miserable lives of the lower fucking class. Your freedom is a commodity negotiated and
and sold, exchange for the crypto wallets and the bricks of pure gold. Adjourning the morning session, stepping into my private suite. The most dangerous motherfucker operating off the street. Removing the silken collar, pouring the vintage wine. It's flawless and untouchable, legal empire strictly mine. The city burning down from the absolute lack of trust, while I turn the moral foundation completely into dust.
Dismiss the heavy charges, sequence the offshore wire. Don't win the prosecution directly into the fucking fire. Sequester the frightened jury, manipulate the blunt scale, ensuring the wealthiest criminals never rot in the jail. Yeah, dismiss the heavy charges, sequence the offshore wire. Throwing the prosecution directly into the fucking fire. Sequester the frightened jury, manipulate the blunt scale, ensuring the wealthiest criminals never rot in the jail.
The evidence is insufficient. The defendant is released, case dismissed.
Execute the VIP extraction with a tactical grace, removing the corporate billionaire from his privileged space. An asymmetrical maneuver against the armored fleet, leaving the private security bleeding on the fucking street. We bypass the biometric scanner in the heavy gate, dictating the absolute parameters of his fragile fate. A masterpiece of modern abduction and spatial design. Your socioeconomic privilege is officially fucking mine. Securing the high value target with the nylon tie, looking directly into his terrified and arrogant eye. Applying the the insulation to the transit van, executing the most sophisticated and flawless plan. You thought your massive fortune was an impenetrable shield until you met the apex predator on the battlefield. Establish the perimeter, initiate the encrypted line. The asymmetrical leverage is beautifully fucking mine. Transmit the ransom, dictate the absolute terms. Watching the corporate empire violently squirm. Establish the perimeter, initiate the encrypted line. The asymmetrical leverage is beautifully fucking mine. Transmit the ransom, dictate the absolute terms. Watching the corporate empire violently squirm. The captive is secured inside the isolated cell. Welcome to your customized and psychological hell. I utilize the advanced game theory to negotiate the price, rolling the most dangerous and incredibly heavy dice. No emotional attachment, strictly a financial trade. Watching your arrogant facade slowly start to fucking fade. I generate the cryptographic wallet for the offshore fund, leaving the hostage negotiators completely fucking stunned. Providing the proof of life with a digital photograph. Listening to federal agents desperately try to graph the algorithmic routing of the massive digital wealth. A phantom operating with unprecedented fucking stealth. I monetize the universal concept of human fear, making sure the brutal reality is perfectly clear.
Yeah.
The hostage exchange protocol is mathematically pure, ensuring the financial transaction is completely secure. You deploy the surveillance drones across the empty grid, trying to locate exactly where the billionaire is hid. But the telemetry is spoofed, the coordinates are fake. You realizing the magnitude of your miserable mistake. I sever the encrypted connection, abandoning the phone, leaving the terrified victim wandering completely alone. The transfer is verified, the heavy ledger is perfectly clean. The most sophisticated operation you have ever fucking seen. Disappearing into the foggy and never ever miss. The most highly educated name on the government list. I don't leave a single forensic footprint in the dust. Just another shattered illusion of your institutional trust. Yeah. Establish the perimeter, initiate the encrypted line. The asymmetrical leverage is beautifully fucking mine. Transmit the ransom, dictate the absolute terms. Watching the corporate empire violently squirm. Establish the perimeter, initiate the encrypted line. The asymmetrical leverage is beautifully fucking mine. Transmit the ransom, dictate the absolute terms. Watching the corporate empire violently squirm. Be up, 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 be up.
underneath the radar in a sterilized suite, fixing the pathetic blunders of the motherfucking street. Bring me shattered anatomy, a catastrophic vascular tear, gasping desperately for a single breath of the sterile air. The cardiovascular pressure is dropping incredibly fast. I am the singular reason your miserable life is gonna last. Sanitizing the stainless scalpel, adjusting the overhead beam. This clandestine triage is a horrific and bloody dream. I charge an exorbitant premium payable in untraceable cash to extract the fragmented lad from your abdominal gash. The local hospital emergency room will alert the precinct desk, but I handle this biological disaster looking fucking grotesque. No Hippocratic oath, just a lucrative and solid pack, keeping your respiratory function completely intact.
Administer the anesthesia, prepare the surgical thread, pulling the ignorant shooters away from the fucking dead. Clamp the severed artery, monitor the vital sign. The subterranean clinic is unapologetically mine. Yeah, administer the anesthesia, prepare the surgical thread, pulling the ignorant shooters away from the fucking dead. Clamp the severed artery, monitor the vital sign. The subterranean clinic is unapologetically mine. Applying the local numbing agent to the horrific wound, while your terrified associates are completely marooned in my waiting room, praying to whatever God they select, while I treat your biological vessel with absolute disrespect. I study the muscular tissue, navigating the shattered bone. You moaning in agony, letting out a pathetic groan. The anatomical architecture is beautifully complex, ruined by the ignorant fools flexing for the opposite sex. I locate the hollow point, resting right against the spine, extracting the metal fragment of flawless medical design. You surviving the ballistic trauma by your microscopic thread. The difference between a living gangster and the fucking dead. Suturing the deep incision with a meticulous hand. The most educated and expensive savior in the entire land. Prognosis is stable, the internal hemorrhage stops. You successfully avoided the morgue and the motherfucking cops. I dispose of the biological waste in the incinerator, shut under the lava formers from the underground. Absolute, washing the crimson residue right off the latex glove. I perform these miracles purely for the financial love. No medical board evaluating my phenomenal technique, while you recovering in the shadows incredibly fucking weak. Your boss drops the duffel bag directly on the tile floor. No will eventually carry another bleeding body through the door. Rhyming indivisible surgeon, the patron saint of the damned, keeping the violent arteries of this entire metropolis jammed. Turn off the halogen lights, lock up the medicine tray, surviving the anatomical chaos for another fucking day. Now, minister the anesthesia, prepare the surgical thread, pulling the ignorant shooters away from the fucking dead. Clamp the severed artery, monitor the vital sign. The subterranean clinic is unapologetically mine. Yeah, administer the anesthesia, prepare the surgical thread, pulling the ignorant shooters away from the fucking dead. Clamp the severed artery, monitor the vital sign. The subterranean clinic is unapologetically mine. Yeah. I adjust the ocular loop to examine the carbon lattice. Looking at you street motherfuckers acting completely savage. You bring me stolen geological miracles soaked in the red, bragging about the miserable rivals you left for dead. But I observe the internal flaws and the microscopic inclusions, shattering your pathetic and greedy optical illusions. The refraction of light bouncing off the exquisite facet, evaluating this highly dangerous and luminescent acid. You risk the federal sentence for a flawed and cloudy stone, while I dissect the internal symmetry sitting on my throne. The more scale dictates the absolute hardness of the mineral, while you behave like a basic and uneducated criminal. I calculate the precise trajectory of the brilliant cut, telling you ignorant bastards to keep your fucking mouth shut. A masterpiece of subterranean pressure and violent heat transferred from a bleeding palm directly to my quiet suite. Yeah.
The international syndicate moving the heavy fluorescence, operating entirely outside the legal jurisdiction. From the muddy African rivers to the Antwerp exchange, the geographical journey's incredibly fucking strange. I certify the authenticity, removing the violent stain, ignoring the absolute magnitude of the human pain. A bourgeoisie purchasing the flawless and glittering nice, completely oblivious to the catastrophic and heavy price. You pointing the firearms, executing the messy smash and grab, while I evaluate the clarity inside my isolated lab. A meticulous appraisal of the polished and heavyweight, determining exact financial value of your fucking fate. The synthetic duplicates are flooding the underground zone, but I can spot the artificial density inside the heavy bone. I am the ultimate gatekeeper of the aristocratic shine, dividing the worthless rubble from the exceptionally fine. Toss a stack of $100 bills across the velvet pad, the most pathetic compensation that you motherfuckers ever had. You think you conquered the metropolis with a stolen ring, but the microscopic geometry is the actual fucking king. I place the verified merchandise inside the titanium vault. If your miserable crew gets indicted, it's your own fucking fault. The brilliance of the gem outlasting the frail human flesh, while you desperately trying to keep your criminal enterprise fresh. I navigate the spectrum of the ultraviolet radiation, a sophisticated parasite feeding on the entire nation, closing the heavy ledger, wiping the fingerprint awake, including another incredibly lucrative and quiet day. I leave you fools to massacre each other for the shiny rocks, while I secure the multi-million fortune in the hidden box. The purest manifestation of greed in the crystallized form, surviving the absolute center of the motherfucking storm.
People see a raging inferno and they panic. They see chaos. I see a beautiful, violent erasure of corporate debt. Fire is the ultimate auditor. The perfect reset button. Let's balance the books, you miserable fucks.
Orchestrate the exothermic reaction in the dark, providing the absolute and calculated fucking spark. Applying the chemical accelerant to the hardwood floor, bypassing the heavy security at the corridor door. The process of pyrolysis is beautiful, severe, making your entire financial history disappear. I understand the physics of the creeping oxidation, the most destructive motherfucker in this entire nation. No sloppy Vaseline, just a synthesized gel, turning your prestigious headquarters into a fucking hell. I manipulate the ventilation, feeding the hungry beast, preparing the architecture for the ultimate thermal feast. You crying over the ashes of your pathetic retail store, while I completely liquidate the entire fucking floor.
Initiate the thermal sequence,
Elevate the rapid heat,
reducing the towering monolith
directly to the street.
Calculate the massive payout,
Collect the insurance claim. Magnificent architect of the unforgiving flame. Yeah.
Initiate the thermal sequence,
Elevate the rapid heat,
reducing the towering monolith
directly to the street.
Calculate the massive payout,
Collect the insurance claim. Magnificent architect of the unforgiving flame. The corporate executives hire me to erase the massive jet, the most sophisticated mercenary you have ever fucking met. A perfectly engineered and spontaneous combustion, leaving the federal investigators with the severe concussion, trying to find the origin point in the blackened debris, but the absolute perfection of the crime belongs to me. The structural integrity begins to violently fail, leaving absolutely zero motherfucking fucking paper trail. I understand the melting point of the fortified steel, making sure the catastrophic damage is incredibly real. You playing with the matches like a desperate amateur clown, while I strategically burn the entire fucking city down. No ballistic evidence, no fingerprints on the glass, just a monumental tragedy for the miserable lower class. Standing on the distant rooftop, observing the violent glow, watching the terrified civilians running frantically below. The beautiful symphony of the shattering window pane, a magnificent purification washing away the fucking stain. The insurance adjusters will analyze the charcoal remains, ignorant of the genius running through my fucking veins. A devastating masterpiece painted with the roaring red tongue, the heavy smoke suffocating every single arrogant lung. I calculate the precise velocity of the spreading draft, a dedicated scholar of this terrifying and ancient craft. The corporate ledger is finally and perfectly clean, the most spectacular disaster that you ever fucking seen. Packing up the binoculars, walking into the midnight chill, executing another flawless and highly lucrative kill. Initiate the thermal sequence, elevate for rapid heat. Reducing the towering monolith directly to the street. Till this calculate the massive day out, collecting insurance claim. A magnificent architect of the unforgiving flame. Yeah, initiate the thermal sequence, elevate rapid heat. Reducing the towering monolith directly to the street. Calculate the massive payout, collect the insurance claim. A magnificent architect of the unforgiving flame. The structure has collapsed. Send the wire transfer.
Yeah, I bypassed the biometric scanner at the corporate gate, determining the rival mega corporation's fucking fate. You straight level hustlers breaking into a local store. I steal the quantum algorithm from the executive floor, extracting the proprietary data and the secret patent, the absolute pinnacle of the silent and vicious talent. No physical weapons, just a devastating malware code, watching the entire financial ecosystem fucking implode. I navigate the industrial espionage with the tailored suit, harvesting the most lucrative and intellectual loot. The hostile takeover executed in the dead of the night, eradicating every single pixel of your digital light. You're bleeding over territories that you'll never actually own, while I control a subsidiary from a secure and hidden zone. Download the intellectual property, breach the silent firewall, watching the arrogant executives violently fucking fall. Sabotage the upcoming merger, short the public stock, controlling the global market around the motherfucking clock. Yeah, download the intellectual property, reach the silent firewall, watching the arrogant executives violently fucking fall. Sabotage the upcoming merger, the public stock, controlling the global market around the motherfucking clock. Yeah, the board of directors oblivious to the massive leak. I exploit the infrastructure because it's incredibly fucking weak, transferring the encrypted blueprints to the overseas buyer, setting your entire research division on a digital fire. The stock valuation plummets before the opening bell. Welcome to your customized and corporate fucking hell. You signing the NDA, believe
Even the secrets are completely safe. Laughing directly in your arrogant, privileged fucking face. I weaponize the information, a devastating proxy war, leaving the billionaire CEO begging on the fucking floor. No fingerprints left on the stainless steel or the glass, completely devastating the oblivious upper class. You thought the encryption protocol was incredibly tight, but I bypassed the security clearance without a single fight. Thousands of miserable employees collecting the severance pay because I wiped the massive enterprise entirely away. I monetized the industrial secrets and the private keys, bringing the prestigious conglomerate down to its fucking knees. The federal investigators chasing a phantom in the machine, the most elegant catastrophe on a digital screen. I sit in the penthouse suite, observing the market crash, converting the stolen innovations into the untraceable cash. You rely on the visible intimidation and the loaded gun, but my magnificent and silent operation is already done. Deleting the root access, destroying the optical drive, the only untouchable motherfucker left completely alive. I shut down the primary terminal, wiping the external disk, a master of navigating the absolute geopolitical risk. Download the intellectual property, reach the silent firewall, watching the arrogant executives violently fucking fall. Sabotage the upcoming merger. Sure. The public stock controlling the global market around the motherfucking cloud. Download the intellectual property. Preach the silent firewall. Watching the arrogant executives violently fucking fall. Sabotage the upcoming merger. Short the public stock, controlling the global market around the motherfucking clock.
Sitting in the dimly lit studio, mixing the perfect ink, watching you miserable street hustlers violently fucking sink. I construct a flawless alias on the vintage vellum page, a master of cyclopropy operating in a modern age. I match the heavy viscosity of the official federal seal, making sure the fabricated document looks incredibly real. You fighting over the blocks with a rusty and cheap blade. I orchestrate the magnificent illusion that I fucking made. The microscopic filaments embedded in the polymer sheet, bypassing the border, patrolling the ignorant fucking street. I forged the holographic overlay with a delicate hand, providing the ghost identities for the entire fucking land. A scholar of the bureaucracy and the intricate design, the absolute control of your pathetic existence is strictly mine. Engrave the copper plate, align the heavy press, rescuing the fugitives from a catastrophic fucking mess. Replicate the watermarks, construct the silent ghost, the most sophisticated phantom operating on the coast. Engrave the copper plate, align the heavy press, rescuing the fugitives from a catastrophic fucking mess. Replicate the watermarks, construct the silent ghost, the most sophisticated phantom operating on the coast. The Treasury Department relies on the intricate and woven thread, but I replicate the exact portraits of the aristocratic dead, printing the counterfeit currency by the magnificent stack, ensuring the heavily armed syndicates never look fucking back. The optical illusion of wealth in a customized leather case, erasing your previous history without a single fucking trace. I study the rare calligraphy and the European fonts, applying the dangerous fugitives exactly what they want. No ballistic trauma involved, no unnecessary fucking noise, just a quiet intellectual destroying the arrogant boys. You believe the institutional numbers printed on a card, while I bypass the facial recognition entirely out the yard. A dedicated artisan manipulating the ultraviolet glow, deciding exactly where the desperate fugitives are gonna go. The
ultimate philosopher of the human fabrication, sending the wanted criminals to a beautiful vacation. I dissolve the original birth certificate into the acid bath, clearing a completely undetectable and highly illegal path. The customs agent scanning the microprinting at the gate, oblivious to the magnificent manipulation of your fate. A brand new passport smelling like the fresh emotion dye. I am the only motherfucker who can teach you how to fly. You pull the heavy triggers, creating the desperate need to run, while my meticulous and quiet operation is never fucking done. The illusion of identity is a fragile and pathetic joke. I manipulate the rigid system until it's permanently broke, shutting down the antique machinery, wiping the inky stain. The undisputed architect of this magnificent and silent reign. Engrave the copper plate, align the heavy press, rescuing the fugitives from a catastrophic fucking mess. Replicate the watermarks, construct the silent ghost, the most sophisticated phantom operating on the coast. Yeah, engrave the copper plate, align the heavy press, rescuing the fugitive from a catastrophic fucking mess. Replicate the watermarks, construct the silent ghost, the most sophisticated phantom operating on the coast.
You primitive thugs fight over dirty street corners and blocks. I built the invisible universe where your entire economy exists. Welcome to the decentralized abyss, you ignorant fucks. The ultimate free market. I dictate the global traffic from a subterranean chair, routing the encrypted packets through the invisible fucking air. You loading the heavy magazines, preparing to violently shoot, while I establish the untraceable and anonymous onion root. I am the supreme architect of the digital black market space, erasing every single identifiable and geographic trace. The federal agencies monitoring the international node, but they cannot crack my magnificent and cryptographic code. I host the illegal marketplaces on the hidden server rack, watching you desperate street hustlers constantly looking back. The Hebrews speak algorithms bouncing across the global grid. I know exactly where the most horrific motherfuckers hid, providing the secure bandwidth for the arms and the dope, strangling the global justice system with a digital fucking rope. Yeah, encrypt the connection, mask the original IP, the undisputed god of this invisible fucking sea. Process the ledger, authorize the heavy drop. This decentralized syndicate is never gonna stop. Yeah, encrypted connection, mask the original IP, the undisputed god of this invisible fucking sea. Process the ledger, authorize the heavy drop. This decentralized syndicate is never gonna stop. I auction a zero-day exploit to the highest bidder in the room, engineering an unprecedented, magnificent cyber doom. The latency is practically zero, the transaction is incredibly fast, leaving the outdated law enforcement complete in the fucking past. You bragging about the shiny rims and the customized leather seat, while I harvest the digital fortunes directly off the bloody street. I collect the administrative tax on every single illicit trade, enjoying the absolute perfection of the monster that I fucking made. The firewall is impenetrable, the proxies are incredibly deep. I am the only reason you paranoid bastards can peacefully sleep. No physical contraband, no weapons resting in the trunk, just an elegant mastermind observing you pathetic fucking junk. I laugh at your jurisdiction, bypassing the geopolitical line. The absolute control of the underground is beautifully mine, yeah. Intelligence community launching a massive denial of service, but their pathetic weapons will never make me nervous. I scatter the fragmented data across 1,000 hidden drives, manipulating the miserable fate of 1,000,000 fucking lives. A cryptocurrency wallets multiplying at an astronomical rate, sitting in the absolute center of this technological hate. You die from a hollow point bullet directly to the fucking chest, while I conclude another magnificent and highly secure test. The underground relies on the stability of my private host. I am the ultimate untouchable and an electronic fucking ghost, shutting off the primary monitors, disappearing into the black, knowing that every single addict is eventually coming back. A master of the invisible strings, pulling the global web, watching the pathetic tide of humanity virally flow and ebb. Yeah, cryptic connection, master the original IP, the undisputed god of this invisible fucking sea. Process the ledger, authorize the heavy drop. This decentralized syndicate is never gonna stop. Yeah, cryptic connection, master the original IP, the undisputed god of this invisible fucking sea. Process the ledger, authorize the heavy drop. This decentralized syndicate is never gonna stop. Yeah. Connection terminated, the servers are right. Good luck finding me. Connection terminated.
waters are white but left. Finally.
Yeah. Welcome to the Velvet VIP room, breathing the filtered air. You pray to Lady Luck like a miserable fucking prayer. I calculate the variance in the statistical ledge, pushing your entire inheritance right off the fucking ledge. You believe in the superstition and the fortunate charm, while I inject the mathematical poison directly in your arm. The stochastic distribution is completely in my control, erasing the pathetic remnants of your gambling fucking soul. I engineered the software running inside the slot machine, the most sophisticated robbery that you have ever seen. We watch the narcotic profits through the baccarat shoe. You have absolutely no idea what I'm about to do to you. The house always wins, it's a fundamental physical law, exposing every single desperate and psychological flaw. I watch you double down with a trembling and sweaty hand, the undisputed apex predator of this neon fucking land. Yeah. Manipulate the algorithm, adjust the betting cap, catching the wealthy whales inside a mathematical fucking trap. Launder the dirty syndicate chips across the velvet green, operating the absolute quietest and deadliest machine. Manipulate the algorithm, adjust the betting cap, catching the wealthy whales inside a mathematical fucking trap. Launder the dirty syndicate chips across the velvet green, operating the absolute quietest and deadliest machine. The bell curve dictates your inevitable and steep decline. Every single $100 chip on the table's already mine. You trust the shuffling device and the dealer's elegant grace, laughing at the devastating panic forming on your fucking face. I don't require the physical violence or the metal threat, I just mathematically guarantee you lose the heavy bet. A flawless probability matrix designed to bleed you dry, watching another arrogant tycoon financially fucking die. The surveillance cameras capturing the tragedy in the lens. It's exactly where your glamorous vacation fucking ends. The microscopic modifications to the rolling ivory dice, making sure you pay the catastrophic and absolute price. A symphony of desperation echoing in the massive hall, observing the magnificent and totally unavoidable fall. You mortgage the family estate to chase a massive loss, while I sip the vintage bourbon like a true intellectual boss. Yeah, the evening concludes with a shattered and empty bank account. I authorize the withdrawal for the staggering fucking amount. The illusion of the random chances are beautiful and dark to see, leaving the broken billionaires wandering the illuminated street. The economy of addiction is incredibly and wildly vast, ensuring your temporary winning streak is never gonna last. No fingerprints on the stolen wealth, no physical fucking crime, just manipulating the percentages in the fabric of time. I cash out the heavy vault, ignoring your pathetic grief. A mathematical assassin and a highly educated thief, locking the management office, walking into the morning sun. Another beautifully orchestrated and devastating run. The dealers count the revenue, the waitresses clear the glass. A monumental tragedy for the oblivious and upper class. Manipulate the algorithm, adjust the betting cap, catching the wealthy whales inside a mathematical fucking trap. Launder the dirty syndicate chips across the velvet green, operating the absolute quietest and deadliest machine. Manipulate the algorithm, adjust the betting cap, catching the wealthy whales inside a mathematical fucking trap. Launder the dirty syndicate chips across the velvet green, operating the absolute quietest and deadliest machine. Bring the absolute quietest and deadliest machine. Absolute quietest and deadliest machine. Deadliest machine. Yeah, standing in the refrigerator makes me breathing in formaldehyde. But the violent secrets of the fucking city safely hide. You dropped a cadaver on a stainless steel autopsy slab. Another miserable victim for my subterranean lab. I observed the post-mortem lividity settling in the skin, where your pathetic existence ends and my absolute art begins. The subcutaneous tissue tells a horrific and brutal tale, but my falsified medical reports are never gonna fail. I master blunt force trauma with a surgical precision, a highly lucrative and completely unethical decision. You street motherfuckers lack the anatomical grace, leaving messy exit wounds across the victim's fucking face. I flush the coagulated blood down the porcelain sink, having a quiet moment to professionally fucking think. The rigor mortis setting in the stiff and freezing joints, while I completely manipulate the forensic data points. Autopsy case number 409. Yeah, the homicide detectives relying on my expert review, ignorant to the massive corruption that I'm dragging them through. I alter the toxicology screen inside the centrifuge, a magnificent and scientific motherfucking subterfuge. You strangle the bastard with a heavy industrial wire. I document a tragic and spontaneous respiratory fire, or perhaps a sudden and massive myocardial infarction, creating a beautiful and legal fucking distraction. The histology slides are swapped in the medical drawer, covering up the casualties of your ridiculous street war. I stitch the Y incision with a heavy and waxy thread, the undisputed governor of the quiet and fucking dead. You pay the exorbitant fee to secure the natural cause. I am the ultimate loophole in their pathetic human laws. A pristine signature on the bottom of the dotted line, ensuring the immaculate illusion is beautifully mine. Autopsy case number 409. Yeah. So final obituary printed in the morning daily press, completely ignoring the violent and homicidal mess. I dictate the official epitaph into the microphone, standing in the freezing and isolated morgue completely alone. A master of pathology, rewriting the historical fact, ensuring your criminal empire stays entirely intact. The microscopic evidence dissolving in the chemical wash. Every single federal investigation that I fucking squash. You rely on the heavy intimidation and the loud done, but I determine exactly when the homicide is fucking done. The cadavers don't speak, they just quietly rot away, providing my massive offshore accounts for another day. I sign a death certificate with an arrogant gold pen, the final untouchable judge of these miserable fucking men. Removing the bloody apron, washing the latex debris. The absolute silence of the grave belongs entirely to me.